Thanks, Colin. One note on the game on the 28th. I think it's out there a little bit, but it is a family holiday kind of group special. All kids, I believe it's, Colin, maybe you can help me, 16 and under or 12 and under? 16 and under are $5 tickets for the Missouri State game on the 28th, and adults are $10 tickets for that game on the 28th. So anybody who can spread that word, Gary, you guys, if you can get it going on the radio about I'm doing a little family Christmas type special with those ticket prices, we'd sure appreciate it. Yeah, we're spent some time meeting this morning. Watched film yesterday, of course. Spent some time meeting this morning with the guys and getting ready for North Carolina, and spent some time, of course, watching the film of our game from Saturday. And there were, as crazy as this might sound, there were some positive things that happened in that game. I was averaging close to 90 points per game, and they had 34 at halftime. And in a half, when we didn't play, we did not play very good offensively. Some to do with the way they defended, and some to do with our game plan going in offensively. Some to do with some guys taking some shots that were a little bit tougher. And then some to do with just missing some good opportunities. And when you're playing well offensively and you're getting points on the board, it helps you slow down the other team as well. So I think we could have had them down maybe 28, 29, 30 points at halftime, and that's a really good half defensively against an Iowa team that's great in transition and does a great job of rebounding. So we did do some things well, and it didn't feel like it, and it certainly didn't show up in the final score. But there were some things that we can take from that game, and I think can help us in the North Carolina game. Similarities between North Carolina and Iowa. North Carolina pushes the basketball on made shot and missed shot just like Iowa does. And then rebounding, North Carolina is bigger and an even better rebounding team than what Iowa is, even though Iowa does a tremendous job of getting to the boards. So two of the same challenges we just came off of from a practice standpoint, able to continue with what we've done and getting ready with our defense and in terms of rebounding. And now we've just got to, as I've talked about for a couple of weeks, we've just got to find a little bit of rhythm to our offense, get a couple of guys going that are either struggling a little bit with the way they're playing or struggling a little bit with their confidence, and that's a group effort. And we've got to do just a great job as coaches. We've got to find a way to help the guys get in better spots offensively. So Carolina's playing even better than what they were when we saw them last year. They've got almost all of the guys back from last year's team, and those guys, you look just at their numbers from last year to this year with the returners, and there is a big increase in what they're doing from a production standpoint. And then they've added some guys to the roster. There's some young guys that are playing right now that are tremendous players, and watching them, and they were number one in the country when we saw them last year, but they are playing better in the non-conference this year. They are a better team than what they were a year ago, and a team that's got all the looks of a Final Four team and a national title contender. So, we'll work hard to get ready and give it as we always do. Give it the right effort on Wednesday night. With that, I would take questions.
Having said that, Jake, they scored 100 points this weekend and lost. How big of a challenge is this for your defense?
Yeah, it's the biggest one that we've had this year. In a lot of ways, our defense, probably in all ways, our defense has been the best part of our, this group so far. As I've talked about, offensively, we've got a lot of work to do, just kind of a work in progress, and how we want to do things, and where we want to get the basketball, and just trying to find some rhythm on offense. But for the most part, our defense has done its job. In the games when we've rebounded well, our defense has really shown up, and the guys have done a great job. With the game on Wednesday, it'll be getting our guys back and setting our defense, and then rebounding the basketball. It's the same two things I talked about with the Iowa game. And there's differences in their personnel. North Carolina's at it would go without saying. Most years they're at a different level than everybody in the country except a handful of teams. But their size, their speed, the quality of their personnel is, it's like I said. I mean, they look like a Final Four team. They look like a team that can win a national title. So you have to get your defense back, and you have to get rebounds. But then you got a few other challenges as well.
You have just a couple of days to really work on the